All right, guys, we're going to talk about texture pots today. This will be your next assignment. Here's some examples that we're going to talk about as far as texture pots go. This one is made out of a slab, and you can tell that they used a plate or something to create a texture. So when you're rolling out a slab, you can put a texture underneath your clay and then roll your clay on top of it, and then you'll have a really cool looking texture. You can see these are also done in the same way. They're flat, and then they just kind of curl them up on the end. Now, when you're looking at these, I would not do plates like this that I'm going to serve food on because you're going to get food stuck in the crevices. So decide what the function of your piece of pottery is going to be, and if it's food, think about cleaning it and if it would be easy to clean. This is a texture that was created when probably a coil pot and then taking something and carving out a texture all the way around. So you can do a texture that way. This one is a combination kind of texture. It's created by carving into it, and then also it's created by the type of glaze that was set on this pot. So sometimes textures are created through glazes. Again, this is another rolled texture. Think about things around you, like grates or things in the kitchen that would make a really cool, like a cheese grater or maybe the bottom of your shoe. There's textures all around us that you could use for this project. This one, if you look at it really closely, what do you think they used to create these different textures in here? I'm guessing one of the things that they used was paper clips, and you can see the different kinds of paper clips that they put in here. Also, it looks like maybe they used their finger or some other thing to make these irregular dips inside there too. So your texture could be a combination of things to create. This one was done with slabs with a bunch of textures and then the slabs put together. Again, when you are designing it, your shape of your vessel should complement the texture that is being added on. These are coils that were created on top and had this nice texture that was created. Also look at this piece here where they took out a section and then put a texture inside. Really thick, heavy kind of textures. This almost looks like a kind of comb or rake or something pulled through. Think about grouting materials, tools that they use would create something like this. When you're designing your pot, again, think about the top ridge. It doesn't always have to be uniform. This kind of creates some interest here. It can dip down and create interest. These are past students' pieces. Anybody want to guess what this texture is made out of? It's actually the backside of a marker, and you can see where it dips in. Your textures can be multi-level, so it can go all the way through and then out on the top, so a beautiful piece. This texture, it's a texture from a fish, a blowfish, and this person decided to do a pinch pot and then add the spiky textures onto it. This is a slab pot that was rolled, and then a bunch of these were added and layered on top to create this cool texture. Coils, creating a texture made with a slab pot. This one is a pretty cool textures, multiple ones, but look at how the textures really go well with the outside of on the shape of this piece. Could be something like a fin. This is inspired from a radiator. When you look at a radiator, you'll see all these little sleeves. Texture, so creating a hair texture. Again, it doesn't have to be a vessel that actually holds anything. It can be more of a sculpture, and this is a pretty cool piece with um, an interesting texture, and the texture is what's being emphasized here. So what is going to be involved in this assignment is you're going to make a sample tile, and I'm going to give you more specific instructions on that. And look around for all the different kinds of structures. And then you are going to create 5 designs, which is in your packet. You can use coil or slab, part of a pot. You can think about the negative and positive space, patches of the texture. So decide what method you want to use to create your vessel. Design your 5 pieces, and the ones that you put on your texture tile are the ones that you probably should be using for your finished product.